Hey there, gorgeous business owners. Welcome back to another episode of Bold with Brooke, podcast and place to be for female business owners who want to learn the marketing and business skills they need to get more clients so you can reach your biggest dreams. Design your life. I always say your business should fit into your life, not the other way around. Am I right? Today, we are going to talk about tiny habits and graduation. What are you graduating from right now? Spoiler alert, I'm graduating from extreme perfectionism. Pretty fucking happy about that. So, welcome to another episode. I can't wait to chat with you today, and let's dive right in. Hello there, gorgeous business owners. Welcome to Bold with Brooke, the podcast for creative business owners to learn the marketing and business skills they need to get more clients and design their lives on their terms so we can actually make a living doing what we love. Am I right? I am your host, Brooke Summer, and I'm an entrepreneur, educator, and champion of women, reminding them to embrace and step into their power. I'm bringing almost 20 years of business and marketing experience straight to you to help you get more clients and run a sustainable and successful business without burnout or overwhelm. Let's jump into today's topic. Hello, amazing business owners. Welcome back to Bold with Brooke, the podcast and place to be to learn the business and marketing skills that you need to get the clients that you need in your business so you can design your life. I want to help you with that, and I'm so happy to have you with me today. Before we dive in, I wanted to let you know that we started a book club in 2017. I should say I started a book club in 2017. It started out locally. It is called Boss Book Club, and we're back. We've taken a few months off. Unfortunately, I get really overwhelmed in choosing a book, and so I just freeze and I don't do anything. And I'm trying to work past that, which is also why I'm recording somewhere that you're not used to seeing me, because done is better than perfect. And I am working on that so hard right now. So Boss Book Club is back for June 2023. This month's meetup, there's going to be two of them. One is virtual and one is in person. So if you're not in Colorado, please, please, please still grab the book. Meet us virtually. We're going to talk over Zoom and just go over the book and everything that we learned and everything that we liked or didn't like, because we've had some really, really amazing books, but had some not so amazing ones too, because they can't all be winners, right? So this month's book is Professional Troublemaker by Lovey Ajayi Jones. And I really, really, really love this book. This is one that I put on like in the background, so my daughter might hear it in the car, because I love the way that it's written. I love the advice that she has and what she's been through. And I especially love her grandmother. I feel like that's life goals for me. But if you want to get all of the details for the meetups, both virtual and in person, as well as the book, you're going to want to go over to the community at boldwithbrooke.com/community. That's where you'll get all of the details. And that's our little corner of Facebook. That's where we hang out. That's where we say hi. It's not crazy active, but I see notifications when they're working properly for any questions you may have, because chances are if you have a question, someone else has a question too, right? So that is coming and I'm super excited. And next up, summer. I'm looking outside. I'm at my co-working space right now, and I actually see green and like trees with leaves, and it's glorious. And I'm so excited. Graduations and pool time and beach time and travel. Are you crazy excited for the weather too? I know I try not to talk about the weather too much, because what will happen is I'll record something and I'll talk about the weather, and then I don't publish it for a while, and then it seems really out of date. So I try not to talk about the weather too much, but it is what I wanted to talk about today, because we have just finished graduation season. Yay! And it coincides with beautiful weather. I love summer. I plan things well in advance, like festivals and concerts and pool days and beach days, because I hate getting to the end of the summer and being like, oh, we forgot to do that. So I plan way in advance to make sure I get tickets to everything I want tickets to and get everything planned. It seems like all the kids are graduating now. Does anyone else feel that way? We have graduations for everything. Kids are graduating kindergarten and 5th grade and 8th grade and 12th grade and college. And now we're even seeing graduations in other grades too. And personally, I don't really get it. Like, it seems kind of odd to call moving from 2nd grade to 3rd grade a graduation, But I'm all for a reason to party and celebrate. So if you're celebrating a second grade graduation, by all means, you do you. When we're adults, it feels like so many of these milestones don't really happen anymore, right? Unless we go back to school or get a master's, we don't really graduate as adults, at least not in the same way. And I've always found it kind of odd that only certain things are celebrated as adults with large gatherings of friends and family, like weddings and baby showers and funerals. Again, seems really odd to me that I don't see my family for literally years until someone dies. Why is that? Why can't we just get together because it's a beautiful Friday night and have a party for that and make a cake for that? Why not? I think we should. I know that I'm not in the normal crowd when it comes to that, and I'm okay with that. But I wanted to do a little episode to nudge you to think about what you might be graduating from in this season right now, 2023, as we move into summer. Your little one, whether it's a son, a daughter, a niece, or even just a neighbor that has these massive signs in the front yard, Colton's graduating third grade. They might be graduating, but what kind of growth and accomplishments are you celebrating right now? And I want to throw this little side note in there to say that it doesn't have to be something huge. It doesn't have to be something big at all. You don't have to have gotten a promotion at work or recorded a huge milestone in your business, or you don't have to have purchased a new house. And while all of these things are definitely cause for celebration and they're amazing achievements, we need to celebrate the growth that is often unseen and unrecognized, but is absolutely essential when it comes to being better business owners and overall better humans in general. Personally, I'm going to share some of mine. I am really proud of the growth that I've worked really, really, really hard on when it comes to being seen and not letting my perfectionism control me to the extent that it has in the past. Now, I'm not 100% past it. It's still there. It still rears its ugly head, but I'm working on it and I've improved so much. I'm also really proud of improving my patience with my kids, especially my daughter, and to be on top of her school stuff as much as I can instead of waiting until the very last minute for things like I used to do. And I'm also going to yoga again, and I'm playing racquetball, which I'm really excited about. And as much as I would love to say that I go 3 times a week, I don't. I really don't. I go about twice a month. I'm not as consistent as I would like to be, but I'm going. And that's better than not going. And I'm also really proud of the fact that I'm getting better at giving myself grace, letting that perfectionism go. Just because I didn't do something perfect doesn't mean that it doesn't count. And really honoring myself and saying, you know what, it's okay. We're just going to do better moving forward, and really doing my best every day to do the things that I know I want to do. And also honoring my own brain and the fact that ADHD messes me up sometimes. And sometimes my arthritis and my joints really hurts and I won't get as much done that day. And giving myself grace for those things and not beating myself up. I'm really, really proud that I've grown in that. I am, you could say, graduating from extreme perfectionism and the weight of other people's expectations and rules. And even though it's not a high school graduation, it's not a third grade graduation, it's not a fifth grade graduation or kindergarten, all the things, it's pretty freaking cool. And I'm going to celebrate that. And just like school, graduating doesn't mean that you're done learning, right? And I'm definitely not done. I tell my kids all the time, if you're not growing, you're dead. I'm still learning and moving forward. And that perfectionism part of me still creeps in. I'm so proud of the growth that I've done. And I'm proud of the fact that I'm willing to move forward instead of just assuming that things are what they are. I'm proud that I have a mindset of growth and to just keep going, that resilience. I think that that's something I've worked really hard on. And so I'm proud of that as well. And now I want to ask you, what are you graduating from? I want you to sit down with a journal or just a piece of paper and a pretty pen or some kick-ass music in your earbuds after this episode, of course, because we're going to talk a little bit more. But I want you to think about what has happened for you in this past year, in this school year, quote unquote, even though you may or may not actually be in school, I want you to start to think of what has changed for you. Have you started to step out of your comfort zone and say yes to things that you would normally say no to? Have you joined a networking group to start making new business connections? Have you made steps to not let the mean girls scare you and let go of other people's opinions on your business and your life? That is huge and absolutely cause for celebration. Have you really worked on being a more patient parent? Maybe you're with me. You want more patience when it comes to your kids so that you can break some generational patterns. Have you volunteered for an event or a cause that means a lot to you, even though it meant asking for help from people around you to handle some things around the house that you don't normally ask for help in? Have you started a new hobby that you love? Something that is just for you and isn't taking care of everyone around you? Have you started showering more often? Maybe it's super basic and that's beautiful too. Have you started taking care of your body, drinking more water? Maybe you started taking vitamins. All of these little tiny things that are so small, but so important. And we often overlook them. Atomic Habits is one of my favorite books that we've done in Boss Book Club. And he talks about the habits that often add up to huge changes in your life. And these habits are usually ignored when it comes to celebrating things in our lives and graduating in ways that will move us forward towards the lives that we want to live. And he uses the analogy of giant rocks. Like think of slabs of marble or granite or all of these big quartz rocks. They can't just go in with dynamite all the time, right? And sometimes they do, but they usually have to chip them off carefully and work on these tiny parts to get this giant piece of rock off. And sometimes we think that these little things don't matter, and they so matter. They can move you forward exponentially because if you have a year of your life and you wanted to get from 0 to 100 in 1 year, that's 365 days. Most of us will want to go all in, gung ho. I know I do. Day one, I'd be like, oh, we're going to 100 first day. If not 100, it's going to be 95 the first day. When the reality is that life doesn't really work like that. What if you just did 1 the first day? And what if you did 2 the second day? And what if you did 1 the next day? And then the next day you couldn't do anything because something was happening in your life, or you had an autoimmune thing flare up, or your brain was just like, nope, not today. But you got back up the next day and did it instead of giving up, because it's not an all or nothing, but it's a little incremental growth that we can make every single day. Our culture loves to celebrate women giving up our lives for other people around us. And while there are definitely sacrifices to make when it comes to partnering and parenting and being a mom, sister, wife, all the things, we also need to remember to take care of ourselves and to honor our own wants and needs. And taking steps to do so is true self-care, beyond bubble baths and beyond face masks and all of these things that our culture likes to slap on as a Band-Aid on a head wound when it comes to women taking care of themselves. I want you to consider what you are graduating from, what you are celebrating in this season. Write it down. Really think about it. Give yourself a freaking high five. Tell someone around you that will high five you. Go in front of the mirror, high five yourself. I really, really love that TikTok sound that goes, bitch, you doing a good job. Bitch, you doing a good job. And every time I hear it, I'm dancing. I hear it in my brain because we need to remind ourselves that we are doing a good job. We are moving forward. We are taking these little steps to be a better person today than we were yesterday. Be proud that you have moved forward and grown in your life and in your business, because that growth is not always easy. And a lot of people don't talk about that. Yes, we should grow. We should learn new things. We should always be reaching and achieving and accomplishing. And people don't talk about the fact that that's not always easy. Sometimes those little steps are all we can do. But guess what? Those little steps can make a big difference. So I want you to think about this. What are you graduating from in this season? I am graduating from extreme perfectionism. And even just saying that in my brain kind of gives me like a little giddy feeling of, oh, okay, we're not going to do that anymore. Just saying it out loud. We're not doing that anymore. We're not doing the crazy perfectionist. If I can't have it just right, I'm not doing anything. We're not doing that anymore. No more. Probably hear the traffic outside. I apologize. Maybe this room was not the best option, but we're going for it. I want you to think about what you're graduating from. Then come into the community and tell me what you're graduating from. You can reach the community at boldwithbrooke.com/community. That will take you directly to the Facebook group where you can just duck in and say hi. Again, we're not huge. We're not one of these Facebook groups with like 20,000 people who will attack you if you ask a question. I don't allow that. That's not how I roll. So come on into the Facebook group. I want to know so that I can high five you and congratulate you. I also want to know what you're doing to celebrate, even if it's something small. Are you going to go out and get yourself a special iced tea that you love? Are you going to go sit by the lake by your house that you love to do, but sometimes you just don't have time to? What are you going to do to celebrate these tiny, tiny, amazing accomplishments? Celebrating our wins can be huge when it comes to our growth in our businesses and our lives, and we need to do it so much more. Thank you so much for spending time with me in your earbuds, in your car, wherever you're at. It's always an honor to show up. And if you loved this episode, I would so appreciate it if you would head over to iTunes and leave a review. You can get there from boldwithbrooke.com/iTunes. It'll take you directly there. And I so appreciate that. And if you didn't like the episode, it's cool. You don't have to leave a review. Totally fine. I can't wait to watch your business soar. I am here cheering you on and ready to help you move forward. I want to know what your graduation is celebrating this year, whether you're reaching out to other people or making tiny little steps to be amazing. I want to know what you're celebrating, what you're graduating from. Please reach out. Let me know how I can help you. Have an amazing rest of your day. Thank you so much for joining me today and listening in. You can find all of the show notes for this and every episode over at boldwithbrooke.com/podcast, where you can also find all of the links or resources mentioned. I can't wait to work with you. Have an amazing rest of your day.